to all of you. So I think I am in front of all the teachers, right? So myself, Dr. Kirti Danglongani here. I'm a professor in Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University, and teaching I had selected as my passion. As basically I am a doctor, I run my clinic, and after my medical science, I went for my MBA and my PhD, and I love to teach, and that's why I'm in this profession. Today's topic, what we are going to see, which is very important. You might be learning through this workshop a lot of things related to teaching and learning process. So what about your presentation? What about your grooming? That's most important, because one thing you have to remember, that before lips start moving, a lot of things are being communicated by non-verbal communication. Even when you enter a classroom, your appearance, your physical makeup. I'm not asking about a makeup on a face. It's your makeover I'm talking about. Your dressing sense, the way you walk within confidence in classroom, communicate so many things to the audience, to the class, before you start your session. So that's why your personal grooming and personality development, I think it's not only needed for managers or in corporate, but yes, teachers should also need. And teachers, because teachers are the pillars, one of the pillar of the country, as we make students, we make their lives. I think so we are the stepping stones in their career. So if we are the stepping stones, I think so our personality also communicates them so many things. So let's go through few things which I want to discuss with you today related to personality development and personal grooming, especially for teachers and professors. I'm moving to my slide. Just confirm if it is visible before I start. So I'm sharing my slide here.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. The slides are visible, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let's
Yes,
yes,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
let's talk about personality development for teachers, and I called it at master stroke. Why? We are masters because we are called as the masters of our subject. और वो पहले जमाने में बोलते थे ना मास्टर जी. So yes, we need ourselves to be developed, to be personally presentable in front of our students. Student learns a lot of things from us. Even it's not only in class, they observe us. I remember during my childhood, I used to observe, admire my teachers in my school. When they used to wear beautiful saris, they used to come in the class, I used to admire them. And some of the students also have desire that I should be like my teacher, like a role model. So we are the role models. I'm not only talking about the school, but the same at the university level too. So that's why let's develop ourselves in the way we should be presentable. We have knowledge. We always brush ourselves with our knowledge in many fields. Might be the methodology, might be research, might be our subject knowledge. But whether we groom ourselves as a personality to be presented in front of our students, if not, let's take some of the tips from today's session. Teaching and learning process can be influenced by teachers' personality, and that's very important. When we are talking about that we are in the process of teaching and learning, then we are influencing someone. We are the influencers. So if we are influencers, we are also influencing the personalities of our students. So that's why teachers' personality is very important, because teachers' personality here doesn't mean only the physical appearance of it, but also its mental outlook, whether the teacher is positive or negative. So if the teacher has a positive traits in his personality as being a passion, patience, cooperative, authoritative, he or she will be successful teacher and he or she could get his student satisfied. So it's very important that with physical makeup, your mental makeup is also important. Your personality is being reflected in your positive attitude, in your positive traits. Might be your passion for that particular subject, your passion of teaching, your patience. Today we need a lot of patience when we are interacting with our students because there is a generation gap. They are generation Z. They are techno savvy, more techno savvy than what we are. They have less concentration as comparatively, if you remember what we used to have, because they are distracted by a lot of things in their life which have not there in our life, and that has been by technology. We should be cooperative, we should be understood, we should able to understood our students. If we are a blend of all these things, I'm not asking you to be in the favor of the students, no, I'm asking that let's have a blend of everything to be a successful teacher and to satisfy our student with our teaching process. Today we are going to concentrate a few things. I'm just giving a bit overview of it. The first important, I'm going to talk about the professional grooming. The professional grooming for professional behavior as a teacher. Second, I as a brand. When we talk about branding, yes, we have to do branding of ourselves. I'm not asking to advertise yourself. I'm just asking be as something different that your presence should be noticed. So make yourself as a brand. Third point, which we are going to discuss about the dressing code, which is very important for both men and women. So visual image, because I just told you when you enter, the first thing is being observed is your dressing code. So dressing code and dressing sense is most important, whether it's Western, whether it's Indian wear, whether you are teaching to small kids or might be in your universities. Then we are going to talk about basic grooming yourself and hygiene, which is at most important. Workplace etiquettes, that's again is an important point. Etiquettes with your colleagues, because as a teacher, when you are in the university, it's not only your image in front of your students, but also you are be interacting with your colleagues, with your principal, with your director, with your dean, with your head of the department, with your research head, and many more. Then comes non-verbal communication. That's your body language, your facial expression, your eye contact, your posture, your gestures are again important parameter when you're interacting. A lecture of 1 hour in front of students is not an easy job for a teacher. You have to prepare a lot and you're delivering it. So when you're delivering your session, the non-verbal communication, when you're standing, your gestures means hand movement, again plays an important role when you're communicating to your students. Then we are going for a tips of personal grooming. Then online presentation and classes, because there are so many sessions online. So what things we have to take care when you are having your online presentation or your class online. And the most important, we are going towards globalization. Yes, we are. And you know that we having this year, that is 2023, is the year of presidency of G20. Our Prime Minister is promoting G20. One family, one world. Yes, that's what the tagline for G20. So, globalization. So, international presence. If you are presenting yourself at an international forum as a speaker, or as a teacher, by whether it's online or offline, your behavior and communication tacts at that level also matters a lot, because it's reflecting not only you as a knowledge bearer or as a speaker, but also it is representing you as an Indian. Personal grooming, getting organized, solving problem, engaging and caring about students are all the skills which are needed in the profession, right? You, of course, you yourself should be well organized. You should able to solve problems. You should engage and take care of your students. That's very important when it comes to the profession, which is called as a noble profession. And I will say it's a most noble profession in the world. We make nations because we make youth to take a step in their career to build our nation. So because teachers' professional role can be and very important. If you want to be a teacher which should be remembered, then yes, it should be reflected from your personal grooming too. So developing your life skills, developing your personality, grooming yourself is utmost important. Personal grooming means what? I'm going to make it very simple. Three things, remember. If you can see on the screen, it's ABC. Very basic things in your daily life which you can do. So personal grooming is very important, not only in professional life, but in your daily life too. A well-groomed individual stands out amongst the crowd. So just imagine you're seeing somebody entering a crowd and you see his dressing sense, his glow on the face, his positivity vibes which are coming, and he's so confident. So his facial expression, his eye contact, his walk, his gestures, that has done a half job with the audience, right? So that means a well-groomed individual stands out amongst the crowd. Make a positive impact when you are engaging in a social function, if it is a social function, and if it is a classroom in your university, make your presence so positive that it is been looked by others. So for that, I think so, if you are going for a makeover and building yourself professionally and to keep a good relationship in your profession too, whether it's with your seniors, whether it's with your colleagues or with your students, remember three things, A, B, C. Your appearance matters a lot. Your behavior again matters a lot. And then comes your communication. How you communicate. A language, your fluency, the way you teach. You might have gone through a lot of teaching learning process in the workshop. So your communication, the way you communicate. So A, B, C, all these three parameters are important on the basic of personal grooming. Let's talk about the first important part, and that is appearance. When you talk about personality development, then we talk about how the personality can be judged, whether it can judge by your personal appearance only with the clothes. If I say no, then my answer will be no. Because I think so, to some extent, yes. There is one statement, if it might be everybody, that book should not be judged by its cover. Absolutely right. But today is a very competitive market. Books are judged through their cover page too. The same is in the case of personality. You are judged many times in your first attempt when you're appearing for an interview. For example, you're coming to a school, to the university for your interview. The first thing, the jury member judges you through your appearance. One. Second, when you enters your classroom, the first thing is being judged by your appearance. Second. So yes, I'm not telling it's the end of the everything. Might be your appearance is not so, but your communication is so good, your knowledge is excellent. It may be right, but still I will suggest that appearance should be appropriate when you are appearing in front of your students or any gathering. What you mean by your appearance means your dress sense. Yes, I'm not asking here about fashion or trends. I'm telling here about appropriate dress code. How to dress for your success. What are the actual sense for ladies? Evaluate your lifestyle. Start with basic clothes. Keep it simple. I'm not asking you to go with trendy dresses in the classroom. Never. Your dressing sense should suit your profession. That's very important. appropriate dress code. That's what I call. If I am a professor, I should be presentable in front of my students as my profession only. So my dress code should suit my profession, because I am not a fashion designer. I am not, might be having my saloon. If I am having a saloon, I am making a few women who are coming to me more trendy and fashionable. At that time, of course, my appearance should be like what I want to communicate through my profession. So dress code, appropriate dress code, whether he or she is a doctor or a teacher, or might be a banker, or might be in a corporate world. And that is a secret of success. First step. I'm not telling the whole secret will depend upon your dress sense and how you manage your wardrobe. No, but still, yes, it's a first step to your success. So we are going to talk about few fashion sense, especially for men and women, and with the profession called as teaching. Simple dress, remember, it should be graceful. Graceful. I am not asking for beautiful. I am asking for graceful. Well, we say na ki your presence has graced the occasion. So that occasion, it should be suit. Your dressing sense should suit the occasion which you are in. Your particular uniform or dress should give a dignity to your profession. Yes, teacher, doctor. So success, you can say it's a power dressing mantra, one of the mantra of success. Hope you're getting it, and I should go ahead with my next part. Yes. You can see the personal grooming power dressing for women. Now I am coming to few tips. Basic things. One thing, remember, I had bolded it. If you can see on the screen, I had bolded dress smartly. Look smart. Smart in the sense with your profession. Right? You can see here the women who are dressed might be of a corporate, or you can have a look towards it. Even these are teachers. Yes, these are the professors of Western area, or you can say the Western region of the world. So today we are going to talk about both looks, because we are moving towards globalization. So even our international presence is being considered. So there is a need where that where look should be Western, Indian, semi-classical. Let's see, go through what dressing sense means and how we can suit ourselves with that. Basic survivals, you can go with good blouse or bottoms or your Indian wear. You can go with few accessories. I'm also going to talk about few accessories like stockings, how the belt should be, how the scarf should be, shawls in case when there is a cold season or you are in, might be the northern part of India, hands, neck, hair accessories, fragrance, the perfume which you are using. All these things should be considered when you are thinking about dress smartly. Now, I think so. This picture will give you the answer of so many things. Western dress code and Indian dress code, right? Whether you are appearing for your interview, for your lectureship, or your position where you are going to any university, or might be you are a speaker, keynote speaker for the conference in the university, or you might be presenting yourself in front of students. Few things to be noted. One, neat professional hairstyle. Whether you want to keep your hairs open or you want to tie up with the accessories. Accessories might be the belt or might be a rubber band or a clutcher. Depends upon how it suits your face line. So neat professional hairstyle is very important. Second, very light makeup. You're not going for a party. So very light makeup, what I will recommend. A light lipstick, what I recommend. Anybody who are using kajal, yes, they can go for it. Or a bit of compact. So very light makeup, what I will recommend when you are presenting yourself in a gathering. Little or no jewelry. You're not going for a wedding. You're not going for any flashy party. So very little jewelry. Jewelry distracts your audience, remember. So like you can see a chain, might be a chain. If your culture, yeah, according to your culture also it may matter, like the region which you are from might be northern part of India or the southern part of India, so might be a small mangal sutra, yes. So a very little or no jewelry you can go with. Next, let's go with the western and then we will go with the Indian dress code. Western dress code, a light colored shirt which you are wearing with a blazer, and then you can go with a skirt or trouser. If you are wearing a skirt, many universities, or if you are working in a Western university, or many in the urban area also have a Western dressing style allowed. So knee length skirt or straight pant is fine when you are presenting yourself. Knee length, below knee, not above knee, right? And if you're going for your kurta, then go for full sleeves or half sleeves full kurta, depending upon your preference. Cotton kurta are mostly preferred rather than flashy or silk kurta. Use a conservative colors, light colors, or might be darker, navy blue, black. It's absolutely fine. White, but not too fluorescent colors. No. Knee length kurta, leggings, or you can use salwar. Right. Professional shoes, if you can see. Heels or without heels depend upon you, but remember, you don't have to make noise while entering in the classroom. So it not happen कि टक 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 ऐसे आवाज आ रही है. It should not be. So professional shoes preferably. So might be you can have professional shoes, bellies, chappals means the professional one. If you are wearing sari, right? I will come to such sari as an outfit also. So this should be the watch, one bracelet if you prefer, depending upon your choice, or you can say kada like this or a bracelet, watch. If it is a digital watch or a normal watch, it looks decent. If you're wearing a blazer, then close your buttons. Right. So this is what it is. Now coming to the sari, I believe is the most beautiful outfit which India has. Presentable. Yes. Here also you have different types of saris might be in your wardrobe. Might be few wearing for your weddings, wedding ceremony or parties, and another one. Make sure your sari is of decent color and presentable. No flashy. Plain saris or printed, all depends upon you. Colors, I will again suggest the color again you have to match with your skin tone. Of course, you might be looking towards it. According to your skin tone, you can take the shades which suits to your skin tone. Right? When you're wearing a sari, then you can have bindi if you prefer. You can have a small mangal sutra if you are married. You can have one kada. Don't have so many bangles which are making noise and disturbing while you are writing on the board, might be, or you're having a gestures of the hand. At that time, it may create noise and disturb and distract. Rather than the disturb, it distracts students. Watch and a formal chappals which are not more glary. Heels depend upon how you carry it. Carrying yourself is also important. Now, your outfit, whether you are wearing kurta or salwar kameez or formals or sari, depends how you carry your outfit. You should be comfortable. One thing I will tell you, wear, of course, you have to wear decently, but wear the outfit which you are comfortable with. Because you are going to deliver for 40 minutes, you are going to deliver your session for 1 hour. And it should not happen that while having, and you are adjusting your blouse, you're adjusting your scarf, you're adjusting your skirt. No. Once you're comfortable in your outfit, you should be confident. Because remember one thing, what I had experienced, your outfit also gives little bit of confidence. When you feel I'm comfortable, perfect, it builds up your confidence. Your makeover, your makeover gives your confidence. So make sure you build a confidence with a perfect outfit which you are comfortable with. Your comfortability also matters a lot. Then you can wear a trousers also, the formal trousers, like we had talked about the skirts, the formal trousers also will do. These are some dress for success with men and women I had compared. So neat hairstyle, even in the males, you can see neatly here. Simple tie, no flashy ties, suits your profession, remember. Long sleeve, pressed shirt. Your shirt should be pressed, ironed, remember this. Collared always, a good collared shirt always preferred. Now the color combination mostly, which you can go for, pants, knee-length skirt, navy blue, charcoal color, black color. Don't go for red or glazy colors. No. So make sure navy blue, black, charcoal, even cream color suits in some cases. Right. So these are the preferred colors. Okay. Dress, you have to wear stockings if a female is having a skirt. And one important, socks are very important. We feel nobody looks towards the socks, but no. Matching dress socks are preferred if I'm talking about in the males. Dark shoes that matches your suit. So it can be a navy blue, black, or brown shoes, formal shoes. And if you are looking towards the socks, then I will not ask you to go for white socks. No. You are not a sports person, except you are a sports teacher. Right. Make sure there are no flowery. It should be decent, and the socks should also match your dress code. And don't use the same socks the next day. It will really create problem for you. I think so. You understood what I mean. Low or medium heels are preferred rather than the pencil heel. I will not give with the pencil heel. Okay, let's see what should be avoided. Low cut necklines. Low cut neckline should be avoided because you are in front of your students and you are the role model for them. Second, mini skirts again should be avoided. Loud prints, a lot of flowery and loud prints again should be avoided, except it is an informal day or any cultural event in your in your school or in your university. Lot of makeup again should be no dramatic makeup, very light makeup is permitted. Excessive and flashy jewelry, you're not going for any wedding or party. So excessive and flashy jewelry should be avoided. Too much perfume. You should have a fragrance, no problem, but a very light perfume is preferred. Avoid caps and hats in school and colleges and universities and institutes. White socks should be avoided. Bright ties, bright color should be avoided. And too much of cologne, like I talked about the perfumes in case of women, the same is applicable. No, strong perfumes or cologne. These are the things which you have to avoid when you are thinking about your dress code. Yes. Now coming for colleges, mein to you will say in colleges you have parties, you may have cultural events. Yes, you can go for it. Now your dressing style can be little bit, right? I'm emphasizing on little bit flashy. You can go with the jeans and t-shirt in mostly in the case of males. Female also, the young woman wants to go with it. Suitable earrings. You can go with suitable earrings. Your scarf around the neck, if you prefer a good scarf around the neck. Heels. Yes, you can go with the heels. If you want to have a full length gown, many of the Western countries go with it. Or even in Indian culture, we are accepting so many of outfits related to it. Yes, you can go. But remember, any dress code you are selecting for yourself should match and suit your skin tone. Accessories, suitable accessories. Do not overdo it. Party hai, but remember it's an official party, official cultural program of in the university, right? Official sports day in the university. So make sure it suits with the sports perfectly, and you should not exceed too much. That should be reflected in your profession. Few tips: don't be too simple, too flashy. No matter what the occasion, always dress so you feel comfortable. Remember this. This point, the second point is at most important. No matter what is the occasion, always dress so you feel comfortable. Comfortable is very important part. No one can have fun in too short dress and too tight, even if it is in party or cultural. And if you want that it's a cultural function and you want to do something flashy or something wants to match with others, you cannot if you're not comfortable. You cannot have fun if your dress are too tight. So make it comfortable. Dress for comfort first and then occasion next. I'm giving again preference. Your comfort first, occasion next, because if you are not comfortable, then your whole attention will be toward your dressing sense. Plain dress can always be dressed up with accessories. Remember, if you are having a plain sari, then few accessories will definitely look good. But you have little bit of, if it is a function and you have little bit of worked sari or a dress, then less jewelry will suit to it. Okay, it doesn't only dress, but there are few things you need to a good grooming. Because individual, when you talk about personal hygiene, I know I'm talking a little bit towards the hygiene part, but it's really necessary. Because when you are going in a gathering or being in front of your students, remember your breath is very important. So take care of your oral hygiene. Few may have problems, medical issues, I totally agree, but they can take care with a few mouth fresheners which are available, mouthwash which are available. Perspiration. Few people may have a problem of body odor. Use light perfumes which may helps to keep you away from the perspiration because you are interacting with your students. Skincare products you can use, but use which have less fragrance. बहुत strong smell की नहीं. Hairstyle and nails. Make your hairstyle perfect, whether you're tying your hair, but it should not be frizzy. No fuzz. Nails should be cut, properly cut, using nail paints, not using, but don't use very flashy nail paints. You can use it, but because when you are in partying outside in your family function, but not as a teacher when you are in your university. Yes, few times it's fine when it's a cultural and you are enjoying with your students. That's the secret of personal development. There are up and downs, but when you are going with your personal development, even as a teacher or a professor taking you as a career, remember one thing: you want to do your best for your students. You want to present yourself in your in front of your students at the best level, and you can do it if you follow ABC. We had only talked about A now, appearance. We are going to talk about B and C too. Before going to the behavior aspect, which is again linked with the non-verbal communication also, few tips of the body language. Body language is again communication, because when we are talking about communication, the third part, that is C, A, B, C ka C, communication. It is your communication. It should not be only with the knowledge which you are communicating to the students, but it also reflects in your B, that is behavior. So these are all linked, behavior and communication. That means your facial expression, your body language, your posture, whether your posture, shoulder are stooped or they are perfectly in line. How your gestures and hand movements are, your eye movements, your space with the students and the colleagues, how space you keep. All these things matter, right? So body language is again important, because when you walk to the podium, in the class, it takes few seconds and everybody in the classroom is looking towards you. That means your walk, your smile on the face, your eye contact with the all students, your facial expression, your confidence on the face, your shoulders which they are lined or stooped, your gestures of the hand, all communicate them about your positivity, about your behavior, about your attitude, about your communication, and about your vibes of positivity which comes to them. That's again an important. So body language is important on your verbal communication as it's non-verbal communication. Remember thing. So when you're talking about body language, जैसे हमारा verbal communication important है, हम lecture लेने वाले हैं. In the same way, our non-verbal communication is also important. So body language, I will send, is an important parameter to connect with students. When you're connecting with your students, आप कितना आपका चेहरा स्माइलिंग रखते हो, फेस पे आपके. Yes,
Ma'am, we have participants from South India also, ma'am. So only English is allowed, ma'am.
yeah.
Sorry,
So
ma'am.
body,
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
no, it's okay. So body language is one important parameter to connect student. So you have to keep your facial expression, gestures, eye movements, all that connect you with the students. Remember this thing. Oh, I think so. I'm disconnected from my screen. I'm just going back to my screen. Just a minute. Just confirm it's visible again.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
It's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you for confirmation. Okay, so the body language again we were talking about. So what are the things you have to clear and how the body language should be and what it communicates? Focus on your posture. Your posture is the first and most critical change that you can make. Better your posture, the most confident you will appear. While standing, keep your body straight and shoulder back, not stooped, back. Keep your body straight. I'm not asking that you don't have to move your hands. You have to, that will come in the gestures. Check in front of the mirror and you will feel the difference. Check if you are keeping in this way your shoulders, stoop down, and you are just throwing your body, and just if you are standing very straight with your shoulder back, see the difference. You can check the difference with yourself in the mirror, and you will find how much the posture is important and critical, which can make your appearance so confident. Second is gestures. Your hands are very important. When you're talking to people, because we talk to people when we are in the class. You may be surprised to discover that if you are touching your jewelry, suppose I'm delivering a lecture and I'm playing with my ring. A man is rubbing the beer. I'm playing with my jewelry, for example, or I'm twinkling my hairs. This creates, and this is giving a message to my students about my nervousness, about, might be if I'm looking towards, suppose my students are playing with their jewelry and I'm looking towards them. Yeah, I'm back. Sharing this slide might be the technical problem. I was out of the session. I'm sharing the screen. Okay. So we were talking about strong communicator. So as we are communicator, verbal or non-verbal, we teachers should be a strong communicator, good listener. It's not mandatory that we should only communicate. We should be a good listener. If you will listen to our students, I think so we can have a two-way communication, and that's most important. We should able to collaborate with our colleagues to make our sessions more interesting. Having joint sessions with industry people again makes it more interesting, and I am witnessing this with having a collaborative session with international partners, with my colleagues, and even with few of the friends who are in industry. Adopt whatever new comes, adopt new technology, make your class engaging. That's very important. Engage your class with few activities, because I told you today's students, it's very difficult to make their concentration in the class and make the class interesting. If you're engaging the class with few examples, few case studies, might be few pictures, like few videos, audio video sessions, if you are taking quiz, if you're conducting some quiz, it all depends upon how your subject is, what subject you're teaching. Depending upon that, if you make it more engaging, then I think so it makes more interesting, and students opt to get much involved in the subject. Have patience. They are students, your professor and a teacher. There is a difference. So have patience. You have to patience with, because here you are handling a class of 30. It's difficult. Each student is different from other. So have patience while handling them. Value real world learning. Make sure that you are connecting with real world examples. Whether you are teaching psychology, whether you are teaching management, whether you are teaching science, make sure you are making it with the real world learning. Share best practices. Share the best practices, what you do with, give values to your students too. And that makes a lifelong learners. You have to make your students not only ready to the industry, but ready for a best citizen of India, right? So share best practices and make sure that you give your learning that will make them lifelong learners. And of course, teachers should themselves also be lifelong learners. You learn from them. When you are teaching them, you learn so many things from your students too. And if you will be learning at every level with your students, I think so you will be a perfect teacher. Because teaching is not that you had learned and you are delivering and that's done. You have to learn so many things to keep up with your new generation students. Online sessions, again, is important. Treat an online course like a real course. If you are taking an online course, few courses in the universities are online, make that it's not boredom, and you make it more interesting. Hold yourself accountable. If students not attending, then there may be some engagement you were not able to. Practice time management, log in on time. So make sure that you're managing time management, you're ending your session on time at online sessions also. Create a regular study space and stay organized. Make everything that you're on well on time. You have your presentations, videos which you want to share. Eliminate any distraction. In the same way, your presence, because if you're keeping your video on, make sure backside there is no disturbance, no distraction, that students are distracted. Your appearance should be perfect even if you are taking your classes from your home. Figure out how to deliver your best depending upon the subject which you are handling. Create active participation and make sure your network is good. Of course, I lost my network because of technical, it might happen, but wherever possible, you can make sure. Personality development doesn't mean only physical, but it also means mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. So, as a teacher, it's very important. You are a very important part where you are delivering sessions, you're connecting with students, you're building their careers. So, make sure that when you're developing yourself, you're not only physically apparable, you're mentally also, you're positive, you're emotionally, you have a work life balance, your social appearance, and how spiritually you are giving values to your students, so they should carry that values in their life. One most important thing which I don't want to miss, be that is international presence. And very short, it's a very big topic to be covered, but now you have collaborations, you have MOUs, you might go for sessions, people might come to your universities, your institute for lectures, or it can be online deliveries of lectures at international forum. Make sure your presence is perfect because you are representing your nation. So make sure your presence, I will say, the most of course you want to come with their level with an western outfit, but I prefer Indian outfit. Whenever I have been called as a speaker at the international forum, I had been to 15 countries, and a lot of times, might be more, around 60, 70 times, and I prefer the Indian wear, and which really fascinates them. They love to have. And I start with session with Namaste because that's what the gesture of India towards the whole world. So, few things you have to remember. One, study the country which you are going. Study in the case of the way they communicate, they behave, their cuisine, their little bit of, about their culture. Few things you have to you should know about how they greet. So suppose I'm in Thailand, I can greet Namaste from India and Swadika from Thailand. So just imagine, and this, the first sentence, make the audience mesmerize and attract towards me because I am uttering their greeting, right? So few things you, if you learn about them, their cuisine, their eating habits, like few things are acceptable and non-acceptable. Honking is not acceptable in few countries. Pointing out is not accepted. So if you have few things in mind, and that presents you, I think so you are more comfortable and you will make a good international presence and represent India more well. I think so. I would have taken much more, but the time is a constraint, and I manage my time to cover in exact 1 hour and open for question answer session. Thank you, teachers. Thank you very much for a patience learning, because we are always communicators. So being a teacher, being